Hello, Professor. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for having me. Without much ado, permit me to press further to present my project on the Coca-Cola Company strategic management. Here is my table of content, and I will start with the Coca-Cola strategic context. So, Coca-Cola was first produced in Georgia on May 8, 1886. It manufactures beverage concentrates, which includes soft drinks, coffee, and tea. It has acquired 20 companies and two in the last 5 years, and it now operates in Europe, Middle East, Africa, North America, and Asia Pacific. Coca-Cola currently has over 700,000 employees, and Jim Quincy is the current chairman and CEO of Coca-Cola. Now, this brings me to talk about the vision, mission, and value statement of Coca-Cola. Even though I had an issue with this mission statement and vision statement, I rectified the issue here. But in the Word document, you'll find a section, a comment section, where I deliberated more on the issue. So the Coca-Cola's vision should be to refresh the world, to inspire moments of optimism, and to create value and differences. While the mission statement is to craft brands and choice of drinks people love, done in ways that create sustainability and also make differences in people's lives and communities. So the values of Coca-Cola includes investing in employees' growth, creating values for customers, and also creating returns for their investors. This leads me to talk about the financial highlights, particularly the net revenue. If you look on the right-hand side, you're going to see the trend of the net revenue from 2017 to 2021. In 2020, here we can see that they discovered or they realized a fall in their net revenue by 11.41% due to the effect of the pandemic. However, in 2021, they haven't re-strategized their marketing and promotion strategy. They were able to realize an increase by 17.09% in their net revenue. So this is to say that Coca-Cola is actually doing well when it comes to net revenue. Now, this is a net annual profit of Coca-Cola. Here we can find the values, and here we can see the trend. From 2017 to 2018, we can see that there was a bump by 415.5%. This was because Coca-Cola has actually acquired some local companies in the United States and partnered up with their company. This led to the increase in their annual profit from 2017 to 2018. However, in 2020, we can see that there was a 13.1 percentage fall in its net annual profit due to the effect of the pandemic. But in 2021, having re-strategized their promotions and increase in their sales, they were able to realize a 26.1% increase in the net profit. This is to say, Coca-Cola has actually done well in maintaining a very, very upward sloping with less fluctuation in its annual profit. Now, this also talks about the shareholders' income. So just like I said earlier, one of the values of Coca-Cola is to what? Is to give returns to their shareholders. So looking at the trend here, we can see that there was a fall in 2018. I tried to look for reliable resources regarding why this happened, but I couldn't find any. However, if you look at 2019, we'll see that they realized a 134.7% increase in their in the shareholders' income, while in 2020 there was a fall due to the pandemic, and in 2021 they were able to realize a 68.2% increase. So this is to say that the amount of profit that the shareholders are getting from Coca-Cola is way much than the losses they got. So this is to say they are actually doing well when it comes to the returns they provide to their investors. Now, this leads me to talk about the balance sheet, more specifically the total assets. So you can see the trend here from 2019 to 2021. There was a considerable amount of increases in its total asset, and that was because Coca-Cola was, acquiring companies and building more, doing more in terms of its fixed asset, machineries, and buildings, just to distribute the outreach of its products across the continent. And this is a very good one. Now, this leads me to talk about the total liability. So, over time, from 2019 to 2021, as we can see here, Coca-Cola has been doing worse, very, very unfortunate in terms of its total liability. They've been engaging in long-term loans and some other liabilities. But however, in 2018, they tried to bring it down by 6.8%, which you can see here, which is a bit considerable. Yeah, thank you. So the business model, this leads me to talk about the business model, which has to do with the who, the what, and the how. So the consumer segment of Coca-Cola falls within the age bracket of 10 to 25 and 25 to 40. They also offer over 200 brands of products, which include soda, water, and coffee. How do they do this? First, they created a very strong connection and relationship with their suppliers. Secondly, they try to build sustainable product by optimizing their operational infrastructure. And lastly, they engage in community services in the immediate community in which they operate with and above. Now, this leads me to talk about the resource-based view, which includes the tangible asset, the intangible resources, and also the human resources. So, the financial resources of Coca-Cola is actually excellent, just like we saw in the financial highlight. They were able to maintain an upward sloping trend in its annual profit with less fluctuation. They've been also be acquiring, physical assets, physical resources in terms of building, machineries, and plants. The intellectual property of Coca-Cola is said to have added one of the most immense value to the Coca-Cola's growth, while Coca-Cola also adopts cutting-edge technologies, which place it at a very competitive advantage over its competitors. Coca-Cola also looks at investing in its employees' engagement and motivation by coming up with training and development programs and leadership programs that improve their efficiency, their work efficiency. Now, this leads me to talk about the competitive profile matrix. Having compared Coca-Cola with its major competitors in the industry, based on the following critical factors, Coca-Cola won 2.76 ratings over its competitors, Pepsi, which won a 2.52, and Dr. Pepper, which won a 1.886. So these are the factors and these are the ratings I attributed to all of these factors. However, I will discuss the market share. Coca-Cola has a 4.9% market share in the United States, which is the largest market for the soda industry in the world, and also a 20.9% globally. This is a very, very huge one. Pepsi, on the other hand, has a 25 percentage market share in the United States and a 10 percentage market share globally, while Dr. Pepper has a 21 percentage market share in the United States and also 8% market share in the United States. And this is why Coca-Cola is said to be the market leader in the industry. So this leads me to talk about the declared corporate strategy. The Coca-Cola actually adopted a vertical and horizontal growth strategy as they try to, improve on their brand portfolio. Secondly, they also try to leverage on data in order to make informed decisions. They're trying to establish some data platforms in order to what? In order to make informed decisions and also partner across functions and geographies, have business partners across continents, geographies. This is more like a horizontal and a vertical growth strategy. And this is why Coca-Cola is placed as a product leader in the industry, while Pepsi Cola is still towards operational excellence and Dr. Pepper is still towards customer intimacy. Now, this is the organizational structure of Coca-Cola from the board of directors to the president to the various departments and also the various continents in which the Coca-Cola company operates within. This leads me to talk about the strategic analysis of Coca-Cola. So the pestle. First, one of the very most political factor that affected Coca-Cola is the soda tax policy imposed in most countries, especially the United States. This has led to the fall in the consumption rate of Coca-Cola products. Secondly, The economic factor, which includes the downturn of economy due to the emergence of COVID-19, has also affected the purchasing power of individuals and indirectly affected the financials of Coca-Cola in terms of its profits and its revenue. The social factor, which includes the research that is carried out based on the content used in producing Coca-Cola. So, researchers said that the content used in producing Coca-Cola is harmful to individuals, and now individuals are now being more health conscious, and this led to a 30% decrease in the consumption of Coca-Cola, specifically the soda product in the United States and also all over the world. Now, Coca-Cola is engaged in, innovation. They engage in adopting cutting-edge technology in their manufacturing processes, and this led to an increase in the operational efficiency of the manufacturing processes in the Coca-Cola company. Now, the legislation. So, Coca-Cola was once charged for the amount of caffeine used in a product, and also this affected the image and reputation of Coca-Cola in that year. While the environmental factor, the Coca-Cola company is engaged in, recycling and their packaging products and materials, and this also had a very good impact financial-wise on the Coca-Cola company in terms of cost reduction, and also increases its reputation in the community. Now, this leads me to talk about the market environment. The threats of new entrant is very, very high due to the capital intensivity of the industry itself. The bargaining power of buyers is very, very low because individuals actually buy. Most individuals buy in low quantity. The threat of substitution is very, very high, especially between Pepsi and Coca-Cola, because the switching cost is very, very low. Consumers can easily switch. And why the bargaining power of the suppliers is very, very low, because Coca-Cola has a lot of suppliers, which is above 60 suppliers. The rivalry amongst the companies is also very, very high between Coca-Cola and Pepsi in the industry. Now, the BCG analysis, I use it to analyze the various product line of Coca-Cola. So in the question mark, Coca-Cola has its sparkling water, mostly not carbonated drinks, because of the health consciousness of people, of individuals. Now, it has a high market growth, but a very low market share. And that's why it is in the question mark, the developing stage. The star, the bottled water in Coca-Cola, especially in the United States, is having a very, very high market growth over time, and also high market share due to the health consciousness of individuals and the shift in the preference of individuals from soda to bottled water. Now, Coke, which used to be the cash cow in those days for Coca-Cola, is now becoming a dog because people have now changed their preferences. Coke is a soda, and the content of Coke is hazardous to individuals. So people are now reducing the intake of soda, and this is why Coke is now having low market growth and also low market share. And cash cow, which used to be Coke before, it used to have a low market growth and also high market share. Now, having analyze the SWOT of Coca-Cola, I realized that Coca-Cola has the following strengths: brand awareness, financial capability, and also a very large diversified product line. Its weaknesses includes the increase in the cost of production, the operational cost, while it could also leverage on opportunities by on distributors to widen the outreach of its products across the globe, and also the rising demand of healthier products. They could actually leverage on that to produce more healthier products to satisfy the wants of the markets, of the individuals or the consumers. The threat includes the global economic crisis, the emergence due to the emergence of COVID-19, the fierce competition between its competitor, specifically Pepsi, and the health factors. People are now feeling that Coca-Cola is harmful to their health, and that's a big threat to Coca-Cola. Now, this brings me to analyze the internal and the external strategic position. The financial strength of Coca-Cola is very, very strong, just like we saw in the financial highlight. The competitive advantage, they have strong consumer loyalty, and they also control their suppliers and distributors. This also puts them at a very, very competitive advantage over their competitors. The external environment in the industry, surrounded by the industry, is very, very unstable due to the economic downfall, the inflation, the political instabilities, and the industry strength is actually very, very good. It's tremendous because they are making strides globally, and also it has a very high growth potential. Now, this is a summary of the opportunity and threats. The growing markets for LGR product is a summary of the opportunity, while the fierce competition from Pepsi specifically is a summary of the threats. Now, this is my objective. What is my objective? Coca-Cola should increase its market share for healthier drinks by 15% in 2023. The possible outcomes includes, increased market share for healthier product, increased total annual revenue and profit. Now, this is a strategic option. First, they should leverage on licensing and franchising of Coca-Cola's intellectual property in new territories, especially in Africa, like example, Nigeria, my country. Secondly, they should also look at investing in R&D to improve on the production of healthier drinks. Now we are going to see which of the options is the best. So having placed the options on this matrix, we can see that option 2 has the highest weighting score, and which makes option 2 the most feasible because it aligns consistently with the mission and values and vision, with the validity, with feasibility, the business risks, and flexibility. Now, why is option 2 the best strategic option? So it is consistent with the mission, just like I said. Coca-Cola is looking at creating values for its consumers. So they should be able to invest in stuffs that their consumers want, which is the healthier products. Higher prospect of market share. As we saw in the BCG analysis, we can see that the non-carbonated drink is having higher market growth and also higher market share. It has minimal risks compared to licensing its intellectual property, which can actually backfire on them because that could, compromise the quality of their product. Higher chances of facilitating the achievement of the objective and enabling Coca-Cola to gain competitive advantage. Now, in summary, I would like to state some roles of HR in helping to facilitate this option or this strategy. So first, they should look at communicating with the employees or the key stakeholders in implementing the strategies in line with the vision, mission, and values. They should address issues related to defining of tasks and routine. They should also address issues of coordination and also incentivizing the R&D team, who are the key stakeholders in implementing this strategy. Because when they do this, these people will be able to improve on the healthier products that they produce now, due to the increase in the market share and market growth for this product, and which would lead Coca-Cola to be at a very competitive position and making more profit and revenue. They should also discuss with the manager and possibility of granting incentives, and I've done that. Now, these are my references, and thank you so much for having me. 17.